An Amish Year by Richard Ammon, illustrated by Pamela Patrick. I know when spring is coming before buds begin to blossom. Brightly colored kites sail high above silos and leafless trees. I can't wait to fly our kite, but first I must help with chores. Early every morning and every evening I help with the milking. I know the names of every one of our 44 brown and white Holstein cows. After milking, I help my brother Danny feed our horses. Roy, a saddlebred who pulls our waggle buggy, and our 3 pairs of Belgian draft horses who work in the fields. My favorite chore is tending the chickens. In the quiet of the evening, my older sister Fanny and I sing as we feed the chickens and carefully gather eggs. After chores, I fly my kite, which looks like a great red and yellow bird with a long tail. The reel spins as I let it climb the sky until there is no string wrapped around the spool. I wonder what it sees, perched near the clouds. Early Easter morning, I help my younger sister Rachel hunt for eggs that I hid last evening. Then we drive Roy to Uncle Amos's place for church. We hold church in our homes every other Sunday. On the Sundays in between, we spend a quiet morning reading. Afternoons are for visiting family and friends. Church lasts about 3 hours. The minister preaches in German, and we slowly sing hymns, also in German. Mothers keep the little children busy with small dolls they made by curling their handkerchiefs. After church, we eat a light meal of Lebanon bologna, cheese, pickles, homemade bread, and Sinnet's pies made from dried apples. Later, the men go outside to talk about the sermon and news of people from other valleys. Inside, the women fuss over the babies while we children race outdoors to play. Easter Monday is a day for visiting. It's a good day to take a walk. I look for crocuses and robins, early signs of spring. The boys go fishing at Uncle Stephen's pond. In the early spring, it's time to get Mama's garden ready for planting. After Danny plows, I rake out the soil as Mom plants radishes, spring onions, lettuce, and peas. Dad can't wait to eat onion and radish sandwiches. In April, I help Mom put in broccoli and cabbage plants. We sow seeds of sweet corn, beets, and spinach in long, straight rows. In deeper rows, we drop seed potatoes. After the last frost, we put in tomato and pepper plants, celery, and rows of beans. I push cantaloupe, cucumber, zucchini, and pumpkin seeds into separate mounds of brown earth. Then we edge the garden with a variety of flowers. Another sure sign of the season is spring cleaning. Quilts hang from long wash lines stretching from the house to the corner of the barn. On my hands and knees, I wash the floors with a rag and a bucket of sudsy water. In May, I look forward to our school picnic. Around 11 o'clock, we scholars see buggies pulling up to the rail at the far end of the schoolyard. Our mothers are bringing food, lots of food. Hot dogs and hamburgers, potato salads and potato chips, red beet, eggs, celery and carrots, plenty of drinks, and shoe fly pie. Even some fathers come. I think they don't want to miss out on all that good food. After we eat, it's time for softball. It's boys against girls. Sarah, our teacher, is the pitcher for both sides, and Dad is the catcher. When it's my turn to bat, I smack the ball hard. It flies high and deep right into Sam Ash's cow pasture. We play until Mom calls for the buggy. Come, Lizzie, hol Rachel und Danny. Es ist Zeit für G. Come, Lizzie, fetch Rachel and Danny. It's time to go. What I like most about summer is going barefooted, feeling the cool garden beneath my feet. Mom's garden bursts with colors: pink and white petunias, orange and yellow marigolds, flaming coxcombs, and red and yellow gladiolus, standing in tall, straight lines. Between rows of corn, I hoe stubborn weeds. In the evening, after helping with chores, milking the cows and feeding the chickens, I mow the yard. Grass clippings spray out onto my toes as I push the mower in neat rows. When I finish, the lawn looks so smooth, like it's covered with a green blanket. One evening, we hear the sirens wail and see smoke rising over the hill. Our English neighbor races his pickup truck down our lane. "It's Steve's place," he calls. We crawl in and hurry down the valley road. The fire trucks are already pumping water from the pond into the roof. That night, Steve's family stays with us. The next morning, Dad and my brothers, uncles, and cousins begin repairing Steve and Rachel's charred home. While supplies are delivered, Danny and I help clean up the mess of burning things in the basement. I'm surprised that Rachel's jars of strawberry jam made it through the fire. After the men set new joists in place, hammers thunder as they nail down new floorboards and siding. By week's end, the outside looks as if nothing had happened. Summer is the time for making hay, when the sky is clear. Dad mows the field of alfalfa. After it dries for a day in the hot sun, Danny rakes it into rows. The next day, I help Dad and Danny hitch up the pairs of Belgian horses. Although they weigh almost a ton, they're gentle and willing workers. I stand on the cart with Danny as he drives the baller. The baller scoops up the dry alfalfa and presses it into shape. As the bale is pushed out, the baller ties it with twine. Dad stacks the bales on a wagon until it is piled high. Then we unhook the wagon loads of bales and latch on an empty wagon. Dad hauls the hay wagon to the barn, where he and my older brother Jake stack the bales in the loft. Around 4 o'clock, we stop to milk the cows and eat a sandwich. Then it's back to the field to bring in the last wagon loads of hay. In the cool evening, we gather around the picnic table under the maple tree, where Mom and I dish out bowls of ice cream. Friday is my birthday. At supper, Mom and Dad give me my birthday present, a scooter. I tried out, speeding up and down our lane. After evening chores, I see Uncle Steve driving his buggy toward our place. Uncle Amos and Uncle Levi's horses trot behind. My uncles, aunts, and cousins have come to surprise me. My cousins and I get up a game of volleyball. The lead goes back and forth. With the game tied as the sun sets, the boys pull the buggies around in a big circle and turn on the buggy lights. Now we can finish our game. Then it's inside for cake and ice cream. Afterwards we sing "Gott ist die Liebe" and other songs. Fanny takes out her harmonica and plays along. I cannot imagine a more wonderful birthday. This fall I begin 4th grade. As Rachel, Danny, and I walk down the lane between cornfields to our one-room school, we see the farmers in the fields harvesting corn. Inside our schoolhouse, we scholars, grade 1 through 8, study our lessons. Our day begins with Sarah when Sarah rings the bell. Like all Amish, she went to school only through the 8th grade. After taking attendance, she read verses from the Bible, but we do not say the Pledge of Allegiance. There is no flag in our school. I really like when Sarah calls out our arithmetic problems. 27 divided by 3 plus 3 times 3 divided by 4. I have to be on my toes to be the first one to shout out the correct answer. History and geography are my favorite subjects. I like reading about people from long ago and places that are far away. We are never given homework because all Amish children have chores to do when they are around the home or farm. We speak Pennsylvania Dutch around home, so 1st graders come to school speaking this language. But because our lessons and books are in English, by Christmas most 1st graders can read their English primers. Long ago, Amish traveled from Switzerland to an area along the Rhine River between Germany and France where people speak German. When the Amish came to the United States, German or English folks in Pennsylvania mistakenly thought the German word for German, Deutsch, sounded like Dutch. Ever since, our language has been known as Pennsylvania Dutch. If I wanted to say, "Good morning, how are you?" I would say, "Gut Mary, wie bist du?" The canning season began with cherries. In early summer, I picked cherries, dropped them into a stainless steel pail. Sitting on the back porch, I used a hairpin to scoop out the cherry pits. Canned cherries will make wonderful pies this winter. In autumn, Mom and I make chow chow. I help Mom cook each of the vegetables, 5 different kinds of beans, as well as cauliflower, carrots, corn, white onions, and cabbage, separately until each is tender but crisp. Then we heat the vegetables together in a vinegar syrup before spooning the chow chow into jars. Because I have small hands, I get the job of slipping peaches and pears into glass jars too. With the last lid sealed, I help carry the jars to the basement. One slips from my hands. Crash! While helping me clean up the mess, Mom says, "That's all right, this happens once every year." When all's done, the cold cellar looks beautiful, lined from floor to ceiling with shelves upon shelves of colorful jars and fruits and vegetables for our winter meals. Weddings are held on Tuesdays and Thursdays in November. When Anna and Samuel were married last November, almost 300 people crowded into our home. Except for brothers and sisters of the bride or groom, children do not attend weddings because they are in school. The wedding ceremony is part of the church service and lasts almost 3 hours. Afterwards, it's time for dinner. Roast chicken and cooked celery, all day. Tables are piled with cakes and cookies. When Samuel and Anna sat in the special corner for the bride and groom, I sneaked up to the window and tapped on it. Anna opened it a crack and slipped me some candy. In the afternoon, I tiptoed upstairs and placed a broom across the doorway. When Anna came out, she stepped across the broom, going from maiden to homemaker. If Mom and Dad don't have a wedding to go to on Thanksgiving Day, all my aunts and uncles and cousins will gather for a big Thanksgiving dinner. If someone raised a turkey, we'll roast it. If not, chickens taste fine. Christmas is an important holiday for us. Santa Claus doesn't come, and we have no Christmas tree or other decorations in our homes. But in the spirit of the wise men, we exchange gifts. This past Christmas, Mom and Dad gave me a black handbag just like Mom's. On the last school day before Christmas, we scholars put a Christmas program after lunch. Our family buggies pull up to the school. Sitting on benches in the back of the room, parents and grandparents and older sisters listen to us sing Christmas carols and watch our skits. Just like the English, we have plenty to eat at Christmas. I help Mom bake cookies and dip pretzels in chocolate. My favorite treats are chocolate-coated peanut butter balls. The second day of Christmas is a time for visiting. This year, all our aunts and uncles and cousins visit Gross Daddy and Gross Mommy. They live in the Gross Daddy house attached to Uncle Amos's. Altogether, there must be 50 people for dinner. We have roast chicken, potatoes, and vegetables topped with pumpkin pie. The snow is deep, so we're soon sledding down the hill through the orchard. One trail is steep and fast with lots of bumps. Another trail is not as scary. The next day, it's back to school. We go to school between Christmas and New Year's Day so that we can get out early in the spring to help around the farm. In the winter, we also like to skate. After evening chores, we build a big bonfire and skate on Uncle Steve's pond. The boys play hockey near the light of the fire, while we girls skate, crack the whip at the far end. Sometimes on cold winter evenings, we play board games. I especially like Monopoly. Other evenings, I sit by the stove and read. I've read all the Little House books, so tonight I'm beginning Misty of Shintukti. In February, we make and send Valentine cards. There is a big box of school where scholars drop their Valentines near the end of the school day. The teacher picks 2 people to deliver the mail. Longer days tell us it's soon to be spring again. Each day brings new wonders and joyful times for me and my family and our friends.